remember having this moment. I was in school and I was doing the advocacy stuff on the side. Like, I didn't want any of my peers to know who I was. I didn't want any of my teachers to know who I was because I was scared that they would like ostracize me like I'd been told. And so I'm realizing that I can't do both with the efficacy that I want to, both, practicing dentistry and the activism work. And so, I'm talking to my husband, what do I do? He's like, well, do what you want. I'm like, that's no help. I don't know what I want. I ended up calling the dental school and kind of this moment of weakness, the admissions office, and, very vague. I'm like, hey, something personal has come up in my life. And she stopped me immediately. She was like, Riley, just stop. We know who you are, and we know what you do. And I will never forget her telling me, she said, and we love what you do. She said, I can't tell you what to do, but you will have far more impact fighting that fight than you'll ever have being a dentist. We'll hold your spot. Whenever you want to come back, it's here for you. All of the money that you've already spent, we'll hold it. Of course they will, right? And if you want to come back, it's here. And every single year during enrollment, they email me, do you want your spot? And every single year I say, oh my gosh, no, I don't. Again, I just say that to say it's so manipulative, but it's so effective in the way they get us to cower and not use our voices. But I'm here to tell you, none of the things that they told me were going to happen, assuredly, none of those things happened, really.
So good. So good. So Riley, break down for me a little bit, when we're in moments like this where we really have to rely on strength from the Lord, where there's some sort of situation that's bigger than ourselves that we, really just have to dig in spiritually. There's always some foundational truths or scriptures or principles that the Lord tends to bring to mind for us. What are some things that were guiding you, beyond just kind of conservative values? Were there anything, that specific that you felt like the Lord was maybe teaching you, reminding you, that you were drawing on for the strength in this moment?
Well, I think a lot of people approach the issue of men and women's sports or gender ideology as a whole from the stance of what is objectively true, right? Like what is biologically true. Men and women are physically different, anatomically different, chromosomally different. So people approach it in that manner, and it's effective, right? Like, again, anyone with eyeballs and a shred of honesty can see that. And of course, when you're on Fox News for 2 minutes, and that's the points that you get out, but more important to me, and certainly how I center my life and how I aim to conduct myself and the interactions that I have, is approaching this conversation what is biblically true. And it goes back to the first book, like he made them male and female, intentionally and uniquely in his perfect image, and how amazing is it that we have a creator who doesn't make mistakes. But you mentioned scripture, what scripture has really stuck with me. I will tell you, my favorite Bible verse from the time I was little bitty, I can remember being in church and hearing my pastor say it. It's Romans 8:18, which is, for our present sufferings aren't worth comparing to the glory that will be revealed in us. And I remember loving this verse when I was little because I applied it to the only thing I really knew at the time, which was swimming and my sport, right? Like the present suffering, I related to that because that's the practice. Right? That's the time and the hours and the sacrifices that you have to make to, again, be able to compete. But the glory, that's winning a race. That's going a best time. That's winning a championship, whatever it is. It made all the negative pale in comparison to that feeling of victory, right? Pretty trivial, but again, that's younger me. Flash forward to where I'm at now. Oh my gosh, that verse is so much more applicable. I can relate and resonate with it so much more now than I could to when I was swimming, when I thought that verse really spoke to me, or when I guess it initially did. Now the present sufferings, it's the people, again, who comment online, who say things like, you're a transphobe, or maybe you should have swam faster. I'm like, genius. I actually never thought of that. Thank you. It's the people in the parking lot, okay? That's the present suffering. It pales in comparison when you know what you're fighting for, and more importantly, who you're fighting for.